Does this sound familiar? It's the middle of the night, maybe 2 or 3 a.m., and once again you're shuffling down the hall toward the bathroom. It's not the first time tonight, and deep down you already know it won't be the last. Each trip leaves you more drained, more frustrated, and less rested. By the time the sun comes up, your body feels heavy, your mind foggy, and your energy almost non-existent. Meanwhile, your partner sleeps soundly beside you, barely stirring, and you can't help but whisper to yourself, "Why me? Is this just how getting older works?" For many, that's the belief. They accept it as an unavoidable part of aging, resigning themselves to restless nights, constant fatigue, and the quiet fear of stumbling in the dark one day and not making it back safely. But I'm here to tell you something very clearly. It doesn't have to be this way. Interrupted sleep is not your destiny. I'm Dr. Juliana, and for over 20 years I've specialized in helping men and women overcome urinary and bladder problems that rob them of rest, energy, and peace of mind. I've seen thousands of patients walk through my door exhausted, defeated, and convinced that nothing would ever change. Yet time and again I've watched them reclaim their nights and their lives through surprisingly simple strategies. Today I want to share one of the most powerful methods I teach, a practical approach to water timing and hydration that restores balance to your nights and lets you finally wake up refreshed again. Before I give you the full method, you need to understand just how widespread this problem really is. Studies show that nearly 7 out of 10 adults over the age of 60 wake up at least once a night to urinate. And for many it isn't once, it's 2, 3, or even more trips. The medical term for this is Nocturia. And while it's common, it is not normal. It's not simply the price of aging. It's a warning sign, your body's way of telling you something is out of balance. And if you ignore that warning, the consequences run deeper than you might think. In my practice, I've seen how devastating it can be. I remember James, a retired engineer who loved building model trains but gave it up because his trembling hands, caused by years of broken sleep, couldn't manage the delicate work. Or Margaret, a 70-year-old grandmother who fractured her hip one night on the way to the bathroom, an injury that changed the course of her independence. These aren't isolated cases. They're common realities. Because the truth is, Nocturia isn't just about tiredness. It's about what chronic fragmented sleep does to your body. First, the danger of falls. Walking half asleep in the dark is risky. One wrong step on a rug or a slippery tile and you could suffer an injury that takes months, or years, to recover from. Second, the effect on your brain. Deep sleep is when your brain clears waste, strengthens memory, and resets itself. Without it, you're left with brain fog, poor concentration, and a higher risk of long-term cognitive decline. Third, the stress on your heart. Every abrupt wake-up triggers a surge of stress hormones that raise your blood pressure and heart rate. Night after night, that stress adds up. And finally, the emotional cost. Constant fatigue drains joy, patience, and even your sense of self. You don't feel like you anymore. So why does it happen? As we age, our bodies naturally produce less of a hormone called ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Normally, ADH tells the kidneys to slow down urine production at night. But with less ADH, your kidneys keep working as if it were the middle of the day. Add to that a reduced bladder capacity, and for many people, fluid buildup in the legs. Those swollen ankles you notice by evening? When you lie down, that fluid re-enters the bloodstream, gets filtered by the kidneys, and ends up in your bladder, waking you hours later. Now, before I explain the solution, let's clear away some common myths. Because many people with good intentions make their problem worse. Myth number 1. If I drink less water during the day, I'll wake up less at night. Logical? Maybe. Effective? Not at all. Dehydration makes urine highly concentrated, irritating the bladder and causing more urgency. Plus, when you finally do drink, your body processes it quickly, often while you're trying to sleep. Myth number 2. I just have a small bladder and that's my problem. In truth, it's rarely about bladder size. It's about kidney overproduction at night, driven by hormones and fluid shifts. Myth number 3. A drink before bed relaxes me and helps me sleep. Alcohol may make you drowsy, but it also forces your kidneys into overdrive and suppresses ADH, guaranteeing more nighttime trips. So if those approaches don't work, what does? This is where the strategy comes in. In my clinic, we use a simple but powerful method called the ASSIM protocol, a structured way of managing hydration that works with your body, not against it. ASSIM stands for Adjust, Soften, Stop, Integrate, Manage. Step 1. Adjust. This means front-loading your water intake in the earlier part of the day. Aim to drink about 75% of your daily fluids before 4 p.m. Start with 2 glasses first thing in the morning, then steady sips through breakfast and lunch. This way your body processes most of its fluids while you're active and upright, not when you're in bed. Step 2. Soften. From mid-afternoon onward, taper your intake gradually instead of cutting it off suddenly. This helps your system transition smoothly without triggering dehydration. With dinner, only sip enough to swallow food, not a whole glass. Step 3. Stop. This is the sacred rule. No fluids for at least 2 hours before bedtime. None. If you go to bed at 10 p.m., your last drink is at 8. This window gives your kidneys time to finish processing fluids, leaving your bladder as empty as possible before you sleep. Step 4. Integrate. Enhance hydration quality with electrolytes. In your first glass of water in the morning, add a pinch of unrefined sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. This helps your body absorb water more efficiently, reducing late-day thirst. Step 5. Manage. Choose the right evening foods. Avoid bladder irritants like caffeine, alcohol, citrus, spicy dishes, and high-water foods like soup or watermelon at night. Instead, go for a balanced dinner with protein and cooked vegetables that won't overload your system. Along with the ASSIM method, I recommend a few extra techniques that make an enormous difference. First, double voiding. Go to the bathroom before bed, then wait a minute and try again. Often you'll empty a little more, enough to make the difference between waking up or sleeping through. Second, the gravity trick. An hour or 2 before bed, elevate your legs on pillows to help fluid drain from your legs before you lie down. This way your kidneys process it before sleep, not during. And third, salt control. A little salt in the morning is useful, but too much throughout the day forces your kidneys to work harder and creates more nighttime urine. Keep processed foods, deli meats, and excess sodium to a minimum. I'll never forget one of my patients, a man named James. For years he woke up 3, sometimes 4 times every single night. He thought it was just normal aging. But after following the ASSIM method and practicing double voiding, he called me 2 weeks later, almost in disbelief. "Doctor," he said, "I slept 7 hours straight last night." 7. I woke up and felt like myself again. And that's exactly what I want for you. To feel alive again. So here's your action plan. Front load your fluids, taper in the evening, stop drinking 2 hours before bed, integrate electrolytes in the morning, and manage your dinner. Add in double voiding, leg elevation, and smart salt control. Do this consistently and you'll be amazed at how quickly your nights change. You don't have to accept fatigue, frustration, and endless bathroom trips as part of aging. Your nights and your life can be yours again.